Hello, welcome to another episode of Building a Leadership Mindset podcast. I'm your host, Nikki C, all the way from Philadelphia, PA. I have a very special guest for you today. Super excited to have her here. Have been trying to get her on our show for quite some time, but she's made it. She's actually episode 101 because we just had our 100th episode published 2 days ago. Super excited about that milestone, just starting late September of last year. Um, this is brought to you by the Connected Leaders Academy as well as BALM Global. We have some great, amazing things, new communities, opportunities with Empower to Inspire, which we're going on tour 2024. If you want to know more about that, you can plug into www.buildingaleadershipmindset.com, as well as our Ladies of Leadership and She Leads retreat for August 2024. There's just so much going on, but let me introduce to you to Harlem's First Lady, the beautiful Juanita Purcell. She's an industry leader and technology innovator. Juanita Purcell, better known as the Harlem's First Lady, is no stranger to the technology that builds our entertainment industry. As a former R&B artist, her valuable insights shared with the music community through the workshops of music ownership, networking, owning the digital spaces, and navigating the right media for entertainment success have made her a go-to for aspiring artists. But let me tell you, this woman does so much more. She is an activator, and I am so honored to be in community with her. And she is my friend, Juanita Purcell.
Oh,
Hello, babe. How are you?
oh my God, that done like got me all teary-eyed and all that. That was so sweet. That was a beautiful introduction. I'm really teary-eyed. You see my
Oh,
I was like just like so magical because we're really friends.
yes.
Like
I am so
just
excited.
seeing
Um,
you in your light, it was just like, okay, Queen, go ahead.
well, we have been in community. We connected through the manifestation hour and Miss Manifest. It feels like forever ago, but it was really just back like July, August, September, and just seeing your journey and you seeing mine and just manifesting what we're doing today, right? Before we go into that, tell us a little bit about you. Where did you grow up? Where did you come from? And how did you get into the space that you're in today?
Wow. Well, I am known as Harlem's First Lady, as that is my native community and upbringing. I'm born Harlem, NYC, East Harlem, El Barrio, and West Harlem, Black Harlem, Apollo area, St. Nicholas projects. I'm born in NYCHA community, and my family is pretty much the conditioning that I really was brought up in, and being an activator, which my family contributed to doing in my life. And so we were the resource, like we were the after school program, we were the basketball, program. Just like if it had anything to do with community and recreation and having something to do activity wise, we were the people you came to. And so that just kind of stuck with me on my journey going on life. I'm a runaway. I love to let folks know that I'm one of those kids that ran away at 17. So that's why you actually know me as Miss Sing on Facebook, because that has a lot to do with me being a missing teen and being missing from the industry, right? Because I have this niche of being part of the entertainment world, but not as a musical artist as I once was striving to become. In my own upcoming upbringing, I was a majorette, baton twirler, part of marching bands and just dancing, and then the arts and the theater arts, and taking it all in as a child. And then going into my adulthood, having to like kind of pivot because you need to make money. So like going into business is what really got my drive going, and I realized I could do the both. I could do them at the same time, and I just had to figure out what my lane would be, and it was really discipline and being a good student, a healthy student, taking a lot of notes, applying that information into different facets of what I was doing in my life. And it just kind of all snowballed into the fact that I just have a good tap into different things. So folks are always curious as to what it is I do. And I've kind of just summed it up and said, listen, I'm an activator. What it is do you need to do? What you need to get done? You know,
I
'cause
love that.
for me, I'm just someone that can attract and get it done. I'm a mom first and foremost, folks. So when folks really want to know who I am and what I am, I'm a mother, right? First. And I challenge anyone to say anything about that, because that is the most primitive position to be in, the most honorable gift to be granted. And I am so in love with my motherhood, like, and being the mother to my beautiful teenager. And in fact, she mothers me, so I'm delighted. I didn't really have a mom, so that's like my own story that I'm writing. I'm writing that out. I'm a reader. I love reading and taking in knowledge and insight. So that's more so what I'm about. I'm someone that could take in, like, listen and figure out what the issues are. I took on a lot of different certifications, so I'm certified in different tiers of industry, and only for the purpose of building a nation and being responsible for my tribe and my folks. And when someone needs something, I should have a resource to getting it done for them. I mean, it's just my nature, is what my family inbred for us. So, like, you need something done, is like, we gonna figure it out for you. Stay right there. We gonna get you right. And so that's what we had. We had a center, and like we had offices, and people were just waiting for help, for assistance, to get stuff done. So just kind of followed
Love
me
that.
into what I am today. And I got that hotline, and that behavior, Queen, because you're part of the same light, Queen. So I'm grateful. I'm happy and I'm grateful. Shout out to Queen Manifest, who brought us together as one high, beautiful being. And I'm just grateful all the time, Queen. So thank you so much for bringing me on. Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you said a lot of things that I definitely want to not ignore, because you're just amazing in everything you do. And we'll get into the activation part of it. But I love that you said that you're a mom first.
Yes.
First and foremost, you're a mom. I'm a mom. My son's about to graduate from high school. So we've had conversations of, how to we want to be that light for our children, right? How we want
Yes.
to be that role model, and we're doing it and doing it well. And what I love about it is that you wear multiple hats. First and foremost, is a mom, but you have many organizations, you have many things that you're just in. It's hard to get on your calendar. Let me just say that. Tell our viewers that are like on the verge of trying to do something, but they say that they don't have too much time, what type of mindset do they need to kind of transition into to just make it happen and do it anyway?
Well, let's just jump into it. I'll take apart what you just said and just kind of go into what you just said. You said being a mom first, we want, right, to have this greater thing for them. And so that's it for me. It was the want. I let go of the want and realized that it had a lot to do with having a choice to activate my will, right? And what was I more or less willing to do versus the wants. My want list just got too long. Just got too overwhelming. That whole being at different seminars, being at different master classes, being at like these putting yourself in different environments to like gain something out of the word want was triggering, because it's overloaded with so much that you're not even willing to get done. So I had to slow down and process what the will is. And that really had a lot to do with my own personal development, with what my responsibility is. So responsibility became the new sexy, right? Not what I'm
Mhm.
wearing, not how I'm looking, but like my responsibilities. That's what really showed up. Do I actually have a will? Do I have a life insurance policy? Like, is my back end really set up? And I think for the most part, that inward look at how my family was able to be what they are, and then it broke, it clicked for me. I had to figure out, how am I going to build something that ultimately can't break, whether I'm here or not. And so that has a lot to do with the joy in being a mother, because everything that's nested in being mom has everything to do with my responsibilities. So when folks say it's hard to get on my on my calendar, in a sense, yes, but no, it's only because I'm productive, right? And then things are already set up. When do we book this?
We booked this like maybe March, April or so.
Exactly. And everything that was already in place before in your universe and in my universe took place.
Yeah.
Right? Could you imagine if we overbooked back then and just like pushed ourselves to get this done, when we already we're in the future. I'm always constantly in the future. I'm in there June 2078 somewhere, because I'm always in forward land. I'm never in the past. I can learn from the past and pick things up from the past,
Yeah.
but I'm always in forward. So when you're able to like lock in and commit, I think I had my personal development had to do with like my commitment. I was just
Mhm.
on the want list, at overbooking, not being committed to showing up, and then dropping every ball that was given.
Oh, wow. Yes, it's so true. The commitment piece is key. When you say you're going to do something and I don't want to say want, when you desire to do something, there's always a way to make it happen. And it's all about finding those solutions. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to give up? Because when we're going for something greater, something else has to fall in the back burner. That's just what it is, right? When I was going to college, I actually taught myself. I went to online college, and I didn't want to sit in a classroom. I was aware of my teaching style was just give me what I need to know and I'm going to make it happen. Right. But I had to give up days like barbecues. I had to give up uh, family functions because a paper was due, So it's that discipline that comes behind it. You make it work. You don't say, I don't have time. You put the effort in making the time. Like we all have 24 hours in a day. We all have a calendar we can go by. And I'm sure those that are true in your life as far as friendship, familyship, they're gonna understand, or they should rather, right? When was there a time where you had to kind of balance that out and just let people know, hey, I'm on a mission?
It
How
never
did you
showed
how
up.
do you handle that?
Never showed up. I just had to go on the mission and let go. I'm still there. I'm still letting go. I think they exist, but they don't, because I've already let go. So it's just, it never showed up. It was like the choice to go forward and just realize and analyze that time and season is done. And those who were there won't exist. Maybe they're, pass you by and, in the highways and byways, but just the process. How do I process? Is just letting it go and going for what is actually mine. I don't show up to, a lot of events nowadays. And I'm even like thinking about that. Like, am I having social anxiety? Like, what's going on? But at the end of the day, a lot of the times, me being somewhere has to make sense. It had like I think I got this. I learned this lesson later. A friend of mine, she was like, you gotta learn, Nita, that you gotta learn how to benefit. You know what I mean? I didn't know how to benefit from
Mm,
things. I was just there, like being the asset all the time.
right.
And after a while, that's exhausting. And so you
Yeah.
learn to not say no, but create the time. I didn't turn your interview down. I just knew that that time wasn't going to present itself until
Right there. Until right
and I
now.
knew I could commit to that because I could see it. Right then it was being presented and I couldn't place it. And that, I think that's what folks are afraid of. We say yes, 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 and don't give ourselves grace to collect. And so for me, that's what I've been a master at doing, is actually saying, let's put it on a date. Like, let's get it dated out, because it's giving me an opportunity to get my finances in order. I learned that my existence is expensive.
I love that. Yes. Find your worth, right?
It's expensive just to be somewhere. I'm gonna pay for that. So if I can't find a sponsor to cover that, I'm gonna have to decide on if I'm showing up or not. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, just going through these different environments, I was just like, okay, slow down, because you're gonna, you tank out financially,
Yeah.
you tank out emotionally, you tank out mentally, you take out physically. I remember I was thinner than what I was because I was running around, I was meeting everyone, I was out everywhere, I was just like there, showing up. That whole thing, showing up, and it's like, is this making me money? I need
Right.
to be able to show up another way. And then I figured it out. I realized I'm knowledgeable. I have a lot of knowledge. I have a lot of resources, and now I don't need to physically be around human beings. I could just tap in with you, phone call, text, show you how responsible I am. And I realized a lot of friendships kind of faded away because friendships wasn't where my purpose was. I was
Mm.
more so being presented with cases, someone having an issue, and I'm being the problem solver. And then you move on.
Wow. Wow. So what was that breakthrough for you when you said, because you said you had to find that, right? How did that look like for you? And how was the breakthrough? And were you okay with it internally when you were like, okay, it first of all, it has to make sense, it has to be worth my time, and it has to, obviously scale and elevate me, right? Financially, emotionally, like you have to be 100% in. When did that breakthrough actually happen for you?
Well, I'll tell you this, friend. If I'm doing friend time, my friend time usually turns into a whole spiritual talk. 'Cause I just love God. I just love talking about heavens and stars and just the magic. I just love going there with friends. This is outside of business and professional, right? Just like if I'm in a friend setting, we're gonna go into a spiritual talk.
I love it.
And so after a while, you start to realize that sometimes you're just different. You're just different. And those conversations aren't gonna always be those conversations. I realized after having those conversations, then those conversations were just fading away. And I was just I was like bored. You know what I mean? Like it's not serving me, right? I need to be filled too, right? Like
Mhm.
have to. And that's where that learning of the lesson of benefiting, like I'm not benefiting from this. It's
Right.
toxic. Some folks want to have their vices, right? I have my vices and folks have their vices, but it just doesn't mesh. And so it just kept showing up. I don't think I was looking for anything. It just kept showing up, and I just had to keep choosing myself. So
Mm.
that's what it was about. It was like I just got to keep choosing myself. And what kept showing up was that in choosing myself, um, my finances kept growing because now my ability to be a resource to others was like highlighted. You know what I mean? And I shout out to Queen Manifest because she taken us through that journey with us, holding our hands. And I mean, we was on it regularly, and that's essential to
Yeah.
personal development. That 30 for 30 we were on, that was like genius.
Magic. Yes.
Getting those testimonials from people that you're affecting and activating in life, genius. Shout out to Manifest. Just tapping in with other queens who are just on the same frequency, genius.
Yeah.
And just holding each other accountable, genius. Going through those speed pitches, genius. Just everything that we were coming together to do was essential to like that like owning. Now it
Yes.
wasn't about like it was like me now being okay to own my time. And that's why I invested the summer in doing those picnics with Queen Manifest, because I was able to just turn everybody off because I was committed to myself at that point. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like very committed. Like what? I'm gonna go zone out and like manifest.
Let's do it. Absolutely. You had the privilege of being in the same area in New York and stuff like that, and really being able to dial into those moments. And those moments are so important that when
Important.
you are in community with just women that are just doing phenomenal things. And let me tell you, there's a lot of people, and I know she's growing it, you know, exponentially, and I'm so proud of her.
Yep.
But it's just such a beautiful, beautiful thing. We're gonna come back. We're gonna listen to our sponsor real quick. This has been amazing, amazing. So we'll come right back.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jose Escobar, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. We're a growing tribe, a community of entrepreneurs all over the world, globally, all across the country, high performers, titans of industry. If you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to grow personally and professionally, scale your influence, develop your skill sets, move the needle in your business, more clients, more money, more profit, the bottom line, and of course, grow your circle and your network like never before, this is where you want to be. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. We are scaling massively. We want to welcome you in. Check me out on Instagram and on Facebook, the @ JAESCO25. We look forward to having you join us. Take care.
Hello, hello. We are back with Juanita
Oh,
Purcell, Harlem's first lady.
yes.
Super excited to have her on. She is just doing absolutely amazing things. So I'm just gonna back up to the manifestation hour, and because this is where it all started for us. It's all started where we got to know each other, what we were doing, and just listening to you every single weekend that you were on, and just hearing your inspiration and your activation. I think you were able to activate people on the spot, like right there and then, just with like your response to someone's challenge, or giving advice on whatever it is, or even when you're giving them their flowers. That's just how you work. When did the activation started, and when did you realize that you were an activator?
My entire life.
I love it. But when did you use it for your benefit, right?
It, I'm still figuring out how I'm coming across in both lanes, how I'm benefiting others and benefiting myself. There's just no pinpoint that I could actually say like it clicked. It just had everything to do with it, and I hope that it makes sense as responsibility. That's what I mentioned, right? It was just like my drive for being responsible over like a party, you know what I mean? And then if I'm at a party, I'm the responsible one, you know? So that's really where it kicks off for me in this industry that I'm like semi part of, where responsibility shows up as, for example, commercials, right? You just dropped a commercial inside of this piece, which is what I teach, right? And so like this is exciting because folks don't really tap into the benefits and the luxuries of what commercials do for the whole look, right? Not only that, going just a couple of layers back, I'm a metadata specialist. I'm also a full stack developer. So I'm into the coding and everything like that for the purpose of education, educating myself and learning like how everything works. Being a system developer and a problem solver, they're married to one another, right? Because I can see a problem, but I can figure out a solution for it. So for me, just going through these different avenues of what I've done radio hosting. I've worked in the chemistry lab at St. Vincent's Hospital. I'm a 9/11 first responder. I was a bio major, business graduate. Like I have different tiers of responsibility, right?
Right.
And so then that just kind of, it all met when I became mom, right? So how did I figure out how to benefit? Was that I realized someone is watching every move
Yes.
I am making, choosing, and creating.
Mm-hmm.
Word value became essential in my home because all I play back in my mind is words, right? Like memories, like thoughts, right? And like just hearing sounds and like what the person said, you know, you're just hearing your own past. And so I'm notifying myself that I had to speak a specific way to my the person that's watching me, my baby, my daughter, and the stages that she was growing in. So responsibility just continued to show up for me again in this realm that I'm in with entertainment, content development. How does responsibility show up? Well, it shows up with copywriting. It shows up with metadata. It shows up with identifying your content. How do you label your videos, your music, your data? Are you the one collecting your data? So I have been granted so many open spaces where I've come to panels and talked about this metadata, ownership, copywriting, and protecting of your assets to a degree where I go into trusts. I go into like deep stuff. And it's just shown up where people are proving results, and I'm getting the testimonials in where folks are unlocking their own vaults to their legacies, and they're just like, Queen, you did that. And I'm like, you did that.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. It just continues and continues. And I do have your bio up here. And tell us a little bit more about Linked Up, the Link Up.
So the Link Up is just a spinoff of Live from Harlem, which is a show that I did for 4 seasons, along with a daytime show that I did called the Morning Influence. It's online radio show which everyone now respects as podcasts. I've been doing it for over 15 years, and I have over 10 seasons of footage of where I've interviewed so many authors, content creators, music artists, directors, movie, film, like just like an underground pod of talent. I've been in the spaces that's what you see in the background. Harlem's First Lady, Live from Harlem, the Matrix Studios, and we're a production team that have come from the underground into what everyone respects now as independent. So I am part of the legacy of what underground did at one point, and now where we're at with independent. So we're like the independent journalists, we're the freelancers, we're the ones out there covering a lot of different events. We're the ones that you're getting a lot of content from that isn't necessarily on mainstream platforms. Mm-hmm. And we're also included in mainstream platforms, but we're in there's like a veil between mainstream and what we do, but we're fusing the two because of tech. So tech is allowing us to kind of come across. And so a lot of the shows that I'm connected to, you may have even know of like heard of, in some degree. It's over 40 different shows. And it's just been a beauty to see how I've been part of this over 15 years, and where we're at now. I have the proof. My daughter's 16, and she has the memories to attest to. So just knowing that I come from that background, and again, being a singer, I put music out 19 years ago. I have wax. I'm on vinyl, CD, compact CDs, and stuff like that. Yeah, like it's just been like these things that life showed me, right, presented to me, that I had no other choice but to like go on a journey to like actually become who I am today. And so for example, I'm not trying to be a performing artist, a singer, dancer, anything like that. I do have the gift. I do have the talent. I'm not pursuing that. But if anyone is interested in being that, I have the keys to get that done, right? So folks get excited knowing that I have access into the recording industry, right? And that's just what it is. It's just a fact. I also have access to making sure that you have an actual production behind your podcasting. I have access to studios. That comes with private studios, lofts. That comes with public access studios. I'm like on their board and everything like that. So that's where my genius comes into play, because I learned to get on people's boards and actually be part of their business on the back end. So I have a key.
I have a key, and we're about to turn it, right? Absolutely. Let me tell you, you have been dropping gems since we started. Everything that you have been saying, whether It has been on all the different topics we hit. And you're probably going to have to watch this on replay or loop it or something and just listen to this woman's voice. She is just absolutely amazing, just doing her thing. She knows her stuff. And I'm just in awe. And I know I don't know if it passed or there's something coming up with the basketball team.
So that's all happening tomorrow at Lehman College here in the Bronx, New York, June 3rd, Bowling for Peace. Harlem's First Lady, Juanita Purcell, will be there. We are a sponsor of the event. I'm also part of the PR team. We're doing a lot of PR. We've been on Pix 11, Hot 87, Power 105, just doing a lot of press for this event tomorrow. This is a Bowling for Peace event. It's a celebrity basketball event. I think we run about 4 different basketball games in honor of peace. We do a lot of giveaways. My store, Exclusive Arrivals. I also own a sneaker store. I'm partnered with a sneaker store, Exclusive Arrivals, in East Harlem, New York. And we're donating $200 to Bowling for Peace. And it's just going to be a dope environment to be at, where we all coming together just to be in peace, love, and light. And so I'm excited to be part of it. 7th year. I was part of it for the first 2 years, successful runs. And the individuals who are part of it make it look good, you know. So it's always exciting to be part of, you know, something amazing. And I haven't been out in forever, so I'm actually tripping out a little bit about going out, because I'm just not in those spaces any longer, right? Like, I'm part of them, but on the back end, and that's the beauty, right? I'm excited because I do so much of like these big major events, but on the back end, and I don't actually have to show up. And I'm grateful for that, because I'm getting older now, and like having to like everything in between that comes with showing up is like, really?
Getting ready, finding an outfit, just all those things all together. I totally get it.
And like
But
smiling all day and like
I love it.
You know.
Well, when you send me that Balling for Peace, you had sent me some information about that. And as being a basketball player in my day, both in grade school and high school, I'm like, oh my God, I love this. I wish I was in your neck of the woods so that I can actually be there in person, just setting up for son's graduation. I was like, oh man, but I had to do something, had to share whatever I could. It was definitely something small that's going to go, you know, that's going to be something big, and to be able to be in those spaces.
Let me bring it back to the original kind of one of your questions. You was like, tell me a little bit about the link up. So what the link up is going to do is allow me, Harlem's First Lady, to create a link up, right? And so like you just said, you're interested in what Bowling for Peace is, and me being PR to Bowling for Peace, I bring you together to link up. Right. So the same way you linked up and got me, you know, you interviewed me, I get to bring H2O to the table, and you get to interview H2O and talk more about Bowling for Peace, and we show how we start to connect. That's what the link up is going to actually do. I'm going to be doing interviews with different businesses and then linking them together. So like after I've done something with you over here and I meet someone over there, I'm going to say, oh, I know someone I need to link you up with, and then link you guys up. So that's what my give back is after spinning off from Live from Harlem, because Live from Harlem is a show that I did in the Bronx. I broadcasted it and produced it in the Bronx, and it was a challenge for myself personally to see if I was really live from Harlem, like me, myself, like if I was really bringing the liveness, because I'm from Harlem and I needed to prove that to myself, which I actually did. And my show was one of the hottest shows on a Friday night, 10 to 11. And we had the hottest, dopest times, dopest guests. The after event was crazy. We had the whole rooftop. So we would do food, rooftop event, and then we would go hit the clubs downtown. So it was just a whole era for my experience. And so just to tone it down just a bit, because of where I'm at in my life now, the link up, it just allowed me to kind of tap into still like the podcasting situation, interviewing, but like teaming up with businesses like yourself and other businesses and bringing us together, not necessarily like the entertainment part of what I was doing once ago. So like I'm utilizing my businesses. So like Exclusive Arrivals, Cafe Aroma, Lamb's Bread, Carbon Lounge, Ricardo Steakhouse, the Thompson Suite. We are actual brick and mortar business entities in Harlem, right? And so I'm literally playing Monopoly in my own childhood neighborhood, because my elementary school's right there and my junior high school's right there, and all our businesses is literally around them. We're all childhood friends. We've all figured it out, and we're all connected. We do events together. This Sunday, we are throwing our own El Barrio Excellence. It's our give back to the community before the National Puerto Rican Day Parade. We are actually throwing our own parade in our neighborhood from 99th Street and 3rd Avenue all the way down to 116th and 3rd Avenue up to 116th and Park. And then La Marqueta has honored us and is opening up their doors for the first time in I don't know how many years to allow us to have a host an after party to give back to our community. So again, like, we're really tapped in to our community, and that just again comes from me being part of my own community and having that conditioning from my family. We lock in with different businesses, and we shut down our community park on White Park on 106th Street and between 3rd and Lexington. We do skating, we do back to school giveaways. We do a lot. Like, it's really intense, and we show up. You know, we don't advertise this stuff and don't try to like publicize it to be seen and heard. But what we do is come together as businesses to serve our actual community. Shout out to the Carriage Suite. I mean, just like, I'm playing Monopoly all over Harlem.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And I got just chills, just you explaining everything that you're doing. And that's what a lot of us do. Sometimes we go into business and we're just thinking about ourselves, our growth, but we're really not tapping into, first of all, where we came from, how we're giving back, how we're serving, because everything that we do is not for us. It is just a plain fact. It is for the legacy one that we want to leave behind. It's for the generations to come, for our children's children's children. And I love that that is something on your heart. That's something that you're passionate about. And, you know, with Ladies of Leadership, that's something that we're about to do with Ladies Rising, because we need to get women at a teenage age to provide them the tools and lessons that we've learned, so that they minimize that that chance for, you know, failure or just taking the wrong path. So I just love that. It gave me chills. That is amazing. What do you have going on? Like, well, you told us two things, right? You have the Balling for Peace, yes, tomorrow, and then Sunday you have the
Our El
community.
Barrio Excellence Parade. Yep.
Yes, that
Just
is
before
beautiful.
the
How
next
can people get a hold of you?
the next well, I'm on social media. They could get through me through you, of course. I try not to be like out there as far as like being easily accessible. I'm more so like, access me if you have a purpose.
If you're ready to get activated, because she
Yeah,
will
like,
activate you in an instant.
no,
There
like,
is a system to her madness. I
yeah,
absolutely love it. But you have to be that way, because
have to.
sometimes we go into these spaces and we want the information. We kind of
Yeah,
want to, you know, learn a little bit more, but sometimes we're
yeah,
just not ready. When you
yeah,
contact her, you need to be ready and
yeah,
ready to
yeah.
go.
So I'm my target audience right now happens to be just the youth. It's not really adults at this point, because I'm raising a teen, so I'm really like tapped into what's going on over there. And the way I could be a product of their success is by being an asset and giving them all my knowledge and just literally pouring it into them. So my daughter's in school for cinematography, and again, being a metadata specialist on the back end, I am really like showing her the ropes of being responsible. Copywriting is a thing here. Trademarking is like regular talk up in this house. Labeling with our own ISRC codes, our own digital markers or what we call identifiers are on her content. Her documentary just hit Lincoln Center, and so I'm able to track and trace that. It's discoverable, you know, and it's an asset. You feel me? It's not just a documentary that's at Lincoln Center. It's actually an asset, and I can prove it digitally because I've labeled it properly. You know what I mean? And so it just takes just a moment to sit with me and allow me to pour into you. And I realized that more or less the youth are able to take that. over the adults. Adults kind of like listen in and be like, all right, I'm gonna get back with you, because they don't have time. They don't know how to create time.
Right.
And so I'll be sitting around waiting on folks to get, like, adults to get back to me forever. And so where my luxury comes into play is that the youth are like wide out listening, like, what you got. And so
ready to soak it in.
they're taking it, they're soaking it in. Then they're showing me results. They're getting back to me with things like that, little things, basic things like getting a planner, and the little requirements that it takes to even see if you have the ability to be responsible is where I'm at right now. I'm not chasing adults. I'm not trying to get adults to holler at me. Like, they don't really have the money, so it's okay. It's okay. Now, though, shout out to the adults who do. Shout out to the adults who are putting the time up, because we're those, right? We're those adults. Actually, I'm investing in your system. Let's shout that out too. I'm truly invested in your system, and coming to lock in with you, so that way you could better enhance my system. And that's what I'm truly about, right? It's like actually making sure that we are investors in one another. Shout out to your donation to my business. We just did a dope raffle. I just gave away 4 tickets, 2 bowling for peace. And I took up a raffle of $4, bowling 4-piece, from anyone that I've affected, I've come into contact with, I've supported in any way. I've just been a listening ear. I asked and challenged everyone to send those $4. It was remarkable. We got about 50 people in response, and that's all I could be grateful for. You know what I mean? So I'm just super, super happy. It shows that I'm doing the work necessary, and that my daughter has something to honor and keep going forward with in her life. And that's it. Like, there's no like thing that I'm after. I'm just after being a mom. Managing my time, being responsible with it, and being a creator of it. Because if someone actually needs me and I could be purposeful for them, I need to be available. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm sincere about that, and committed in doing that. And that's why I'm pretty much smooth sailing right now.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for everything that you have poured into me, because I am always a student. I am always observing. I do this very strategically, obviously for the audience, and to highlight those people that are making impact in the world. But I go back and I watch these shows because I can't take notes right now, because I'm like focused on you, making sure that we get the best of the best of your content and what you're doing, so that we can again be that light to someone else that's having that doubt of not being able to live out their dream, live out their purpose, because we're all put here for a reason. We just need to figure that out. And there's so many of us that are available and willing to really guide you. Books, coach, what was that?
Willing.
Yes, willing. Absolutely. And we love that we get to do it. We don't have to. But we get to. It's a blessing that we've been gifted with, to be able to share that. And I've always said that I can't take all of the investments that I put in myself, whether it's personal growth, professional growth, and take it to the grave with me. It's just not gonna happen. I need to give this away. It just wants to bust out of me. So I just totally love that, and that's what you do so very well. And I absolutely love you. Love to be in a community with you. And yes, we are sharing systems. She just locked into our notary course, so I can't wait to get her back on that path. And it's just gonna add on to her portfolio, right? But we keep it here in the family. Just make sure that we are growing together as one, because that's what it's about. It's about unity, and it's about nurturing those relationships for longevity. It's not just a transaction and you go your way, I go mine. I don't work that way, like at all. So and even though we have been, we're not talking every single day, but when we make that time to just say, hey, how are you doing? I'm thinking about you. That goes a long way.
Shout out to you, because you actually did that. You know how my modem was. That's me 1,000%. But then I always talk about there becomes a period where you don't hear from me for a while, right? And that's when I know who's there. And so you actually passed that, Queen, because you showed up. I haven't heard, just that period showed up where I just wasn't hollering, or life, right, takes us on. And then you showed up. You was like, Queen, what's up? I was like, oh, There you go. How
Yes.
you doing? And you was like, so what we doing? I was like, oh, we doing.
I love it. Yes. I know a lot of people tell me, like, oh, you're too busy. I don't want to call you because I don't know what you're doing. No,
No.
make the call, leave the message. If I can't answer, I can't
Ooh,
answer.
so you get
But
it.
I'm always going to get back and I'm always going to make time for those who make time for me. Right.
Thank you.
And that's what it's about. It takes a simple little step to say, hey, and I do it every day. I go through my phone and there's just people. I do it very intentionally. Like I truly want the best for people. So
The
I'll just go in my phone and I'll be like, hey, how you doing? I'm just thinking about you.
just think of
No,
it.
no intention. No, what's that called? I think my wife tells me all the
Expectation.
time.
No
What
expectation.
no expectation. And
None.
there's something that she says, and I really want to say it because, oh my God, give me 1 second. Hold on. I'm going to remember what she says. No ulterior motive.
Yes.
It's just a simple, I'm thinking about you. We've done life together. I love you. And I just want to say hi. And that's okay.
How important is that?
That
And
is
how
huge.
amazing is that when it comes through? I would love to be in that position when a Juanita or Nikki sends them type of text out. Because sometimes it's necessary. You know how many people text me, I'm like, oh my God, I needed that. I'm like,
Yes.
I did
It
too,
so
actually.
happens. They're like, oh, I was thinking about you like a week ago. Okay, well, don't wait for a week later. Just
Wait.
send the message.
Yes, I'm so with you. And I think you like really got me in this moment where I talk about the busy signal, because
Mhm.
the busy signal showed up for me as doing nothing and always saying that I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. And what am I actually busy doing? So that's why I don't speak those things and I don't talk about being busy. And when folks label me as as being busy, are you speaking as busy, busy, or bizzy? You see?
I like that. I like that, busy. I'm gonna start using that.
It's
Thank you,
busy.
girl. Oh, that's
You understand?
amazing.
You gotta know, because
Differentiate.
correct. And so for me, it was always about, I am available. I know I'm available. And did you tap in?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so major shout out to you, Queen, because that time showed up where you just don't hear from me. And you can attest to that. You heard from me every day. You got you a love and light, Queen.
Yes. Every morning.
Did I
Yes.
just slow up?
What I
You
could
not
have
hearing?
did, yeah, what I could have did is say, okay, well, she doesn't have time for me. I'm just not going to reach out. She'll do it when she's ready. No, that's not how that works. It's if you genuinely appreciate that friendship and that connection, and it doesn't have, again, no ulterior motive. That person has made an impact on you. You do everything you can to let that person know that you're just thinking about them. It, it
Just like,
it goes a long way. I just love it. Thank you so much. I'm glad that we share that. It's just a beautiful thing to have. I am absolutely honored to be in your presence, to be in community with you, girl. Share with us just a few words with our audience about anything you have on your heart right now, and I'll give you the floor.
it's just pure love and light, because you get it. And it was just that easy. Sometimes I make myself feel like expressing exactly this is difficult. And you just like warmed my heart with how you were able to just get it out and it'd be so easy. It was just absolutely just like I'm just like I feel hugged right now. Like
Oh.
just hug the shit out of you.
Well, we need to make that happen.
Yeah. You
And
you know, so see now all right, let's close out the show because now I need my friend, y'all.
yes, I'm actually going to be in New York, Times Square, the week of the 13th through the 15th, because my new book that I co-authored in, Warrior Women, we are going to have it featured on the Jumbotron in Times Square with
I'm
50
there.
other ladies. So I would love to see you there
I'm
and give
there.
you that hug.
No, I'm there. I'm there.
Ah,
Absolutely there.
I
I
am going
am
to
there.
share
Oh my
the
gosh,
information.
mom.
I'm so excited. Well, I love you, girl. Thank you so much for pouring
Mwah.
into me, pouring into this community. And again, you're going to have to watch it on replay. Have a great day. Thank you for tuning in to an amazing
Absolutely.
101 episode of Building a
101.
Leadership Mindset podcast. I'm your host, Nikki
Wow.
C. And as I always say, make it count.
Love and light.